Tonight, we break a major story. It's being called the largest greyhound drug case in American history by anti-dog racing advocates, and it's right here on our First Coast.
We're talking about cocaine in dogs. Tonight, we have uncovered what has happened at BestBet Orange Park at the greyhound track.
Jenny Blaylock began our investigation months ago.
Here comes Rusty.
Focus on dog number 5 at BestBet Orange Park.
Racing in the fifth. 5 hits to mark, 3 rushes up, 1.
You can see Flicka flying down the track.
And WW's Flicka continues to lead.
And Flicka wins.
WW's Flicka wires this bunch, 5-3.
It's a victory on the track, but trouble afterwards when the drug testing begins. The state requires the winner of each race and another randomly chosen dog get drug tested. Here are the results for Flicka. Flicka's urine on that race day contained benzoylecgonate, which is proof that cocaine was in the dog's system. Crime analyst Mark Bachman was a DEA agent for 30 years.
It shows that there's been some cocaine administered into that animal, in this case the dog.
This is the largest greyhound drug case in American history.
Carrie Teal is executive director of Grey 2K USA in Boston, a nonprofit against greyhound racing. They monitor dog racing across the nation.
This is a staggering case.
Racing.
This is Flicka racing on January 7th of this year at BestBet Orange Park. Flicka tested positive for cocaine on this race day. March 1st, Flicka wins first place and again a cocaine positive. March 2nd, another dog, Castle Rock, and again, evidence of cocaine. Then March 5th, 15th, 23rd, 27th, 29th, and 31st, more cocaine positives for Flicka and other dogs. For months now, I've been going over the full public records from the state agency that regulates the dogs. One name appeared again and again and again, Charles McClellan. He's the trainer of record, the person responsible for the dogs.
I would call it a doping case. It definitely is a doping case. They're trying to give that dog a competitive edge.
Look at April. 7 more times, cocaine positive tests came back on Flicka and other dogs racing at BestBet Orange Park. That's a total of 18 cocaine cases in 4 months involving 12 dogs under McClellan's care. McClellan is cited each time with a Class 1 drug violation. So, was McClellan fired, or was he allowed to keep working with the greyhounds in Orange Park? First Coast News asked the state if BestBet was notified about the cocaine violations and when.
The track took no action, the industry itself took no action, and so here we have the state stepping in to remedy this problem.
And sure enough, this order from the state of Florida on June 9th, the emergency suspension of McClellan's license, saying his drug-positive violations are a threat to the safety and welfare of any animals in his care as a greyhound trainer. We caught up with McClellan as he was driving towards the kennel compound.
He said he just lost his job a couple of weeks ago, and he was.
That's 6 months after the positive drug test reported in January. So who is responsible for letting this go on? BestBet Orange Park, through spokesman Michael Munns, told us, quote, the trainer's license was revoked for life and he was removed from the premises. State records show, as you just saw, his license was not revoked but suspended. In fact, the hearing on his license is set for August 23rd and 24th. BestBet Orange Park also says that trainers such as McClellan are not employees of Jack's Greyhound Racing or BestBet. Quote, they are independent contractors. Independent contractors whose actions are regulated by the state. We asked the Department of Business and Professional Regulations 2 questions about their tracking of McClellan. One, who was notified of the emergency suspension? Their answer was, quote, there is no requirement that the division serve the facility with a copy of an emergency suspension order for a trainer that may be operating at their track. However, generally, we will contact the facility as a courtesy. We also asked them, was BestBet or the Orange Park Kennel Club notified about the 18 cocaine positives? The state elected not to answer that question.
If BestBet wasn't aware that there were 18 greyhound cocaine positives in a kennel at their track, then everyone in the community should wonder about their competence. I mean, they either knew about these cases and did nothing, or they didn't know. And I'm not sure which is worse.
In its full statement, Best Bet says, quote, BestBet Orange Park completely supports the swift action taken by the state in this matter, and as always, fully cooperated with state officials as they conducted their random and routine tests. BestBet Orange Park maintains a zero-tolerance policy for any trainer or staff member that does anything which puts one of the dog's health at risk. In this instance, the process carried out by the state of Florida and the regulators was carefully followed under state law. The bottom line is the system worked. How well did the system work for Flicka? According to state records, she tested cocaine positive 6 different times. So what can cocaine do to a greyhound? Dr. Scott Stanley, a toxicologist with well-known veterinary school UC Davis, says it's not known, saying, quote, there are no studies performed by reliable research investigators. But this could be noteworthy.
We know that the 2 fastest races of Flicka's career were races in which she tested positive for cocaine. Let me be clear, she has 169 official races in her career. The 2 fastest times of her career are 2 races in which she tested positive for cocaine. That's incredibly disturbing.
We asked Munns with Best Bet. He says Flicka is, quote, alive and well. We checked track records from Best Bet's website, and Flicka hasn't raced in a month. According to that same website, in May, Flicka raced on 7 days, in April, 8 days. McClellan is not the only trainer cited with cocaine positives in greyhounds at the track in Orange Park. State records show there were 5 other trainers also cited between 2010 and 2016. Local veterinarians tell First Coast News that heat stroke is a danger for dogs with cocaine because it spikes their temperature. Supporters of greyhound racing say the dogs are treated well and they love to run. There are only 19 tracks currently open in the United States, and 12 of those tracks are in Florida. Back to you.
Jeannie, thank you. And you can read much more about the details of this story right now on firstcoastnews.com.